For many of you, 2022 has been another challenging year. Wherever you are, you face unprecedented challenges. I'm fully aware of the immense daily difficulties that many of you face. I see it firsthand whenever I visit you across our 5 fields of operation. And in all my recent visits to Palestinian refugee camps, I also witness daily hardship, misery, and despair. What seems sadly be very unifying across the camp in the region is that the Palestinian refugees I met feel abandoned and no longer heard. When visiting Bedawi camp in Lebanon last month, I saw how most refugees have hit rock bottom and live in acute poverty as the country's economy is in free fall. I met with the families of those who drowned in the death boat off the coast of Syria and had little solace to offer them. No one should be pushed into an impossible decision between staying with no prospect or living at the risk of losing their lives. In the West Bank, we have seen the highest levels of violence in more than 15 years. I have just met with UNRWA staff and refugees in Balata camp in the north of the West Bank, who explained how violence interferes with their daily lives. Many families are grieving and in pain over the loss of loved ones. Many lack the basic protection they so well deserve. In Syria, refugees who returned to live in the middle of rubble in Yarmouk camp told me this was the only option, as they can no longer afford renting outside. Refugees in Zarqa camp in Jordan say that UNRWA program microfinance helped them make ends meet as unemployment crippled many families. And last but not least, in Gaza, when I was in Rafah camp, it was heartbreaking to see how people continue to live in substandard shelter, mostly relying on food aid 73 years into their displacement. There is an entire generation in Gaza that has never set foot outside the Strip. One should not underestimate the impact of the blockade, the repeated wars, and the prevailing abject poverty on people's mental health in Gaza. But what was also unifying among the people I met is that their requests were very simple and straightforward. We want to live, and we want to live in dignity. Bikarama in Arabic. Karama is a word that I have come to learn and hear so often in my interactions with refugees. Dignity should not be too much to ask. Karama for all is the minimum that anyone deserves. And against all odds, there is gratitude. Gratitude that UNRWA works despite all challenges, whether financial, political, regional, or global. This is simply because there is no alternative to UNRWA until a just solution is found to the plight of Palestinian refugees. UNRWA is able to continue because you keep proving how impactful and efficient your work is for the refugees and for the region. UNRWA is able to continue working thanks to all of you operating in the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan. Despite all the challenges, we have achieved a lot. We have been able to continue providing 500,000 girls and boys with education across all our 700 schools. We have kept our primary health center open. We have prevented diseases. We have delivered clean water. We have distributed food to the neediest. Collectively and individually, you can be proud of all this achievement, as I am by your dedication to serve one of the most underprivileged communities in the region. And all these achievements have also been made possible thanks to the support we are getting from donors, hosts, and all those who promote our stories as success stories. When I meet with the Palestinian refugees communities and UNRWA colleagues, despite all the frustration, I keep hearing that UNRWA is all we have. UNRWA is a beacon of hope. But I am acutely aware that refugees and communities need much, much more. That the essential services they receive from UNRWA do not meet their increasing humanitarian needs. That the services are not always of the quality that the refugees expect. That years of austerity have affected the quality of our services. I hear you, and it pains me every day to meet families who struggle to make ends meet. My senior team and I are doing all we can to prove time and again that UNRWA works and that our schools, health centers, social safety net, microfunds, and camp improvements make a huge difference in the lives of the refugees. My senior team and I are working very hard on ensuring that UNRWA remains a reference for the quality of its work and services. As we seek to modernize education and health, green and protect the environment, we will prove once again that our agency is a partner of choice and a reliable and principled UN agency. I often wonder how come an agency like ours, with decades of successes in human development, so agile in responding to humanitarian crises and contributing to the stability of such a volatile region, keeps being desperate for resources. And we should not. No agency is more efficient in providing these critical services. But here we are, as it has been the case for the past few years. We close the years amid a severe funding shortfall and with the biggest debt of the history of UNRWA that we will push into 2023. This should not be happening to an agency of the size, scale, and scope of UNRWA. Going ahead, my top priority will remain job security and maintaining all our critical services. Together with my senior management, I will work to turn the vote at the General Assembly into a financial commitment so that UNRWA gets regular, sustainable, and predictable funding. At the General Assembly, the UNRWA mandate received resounding support. The renewal of the mandate sent a clear message to all parties that millions of Palestinian refugees cannot simply be washed away. They have rights. In closing, let me say that it is truly an honor to continue to serve as the UNRWA Commissioner General. I wish you happy holidays, a great year ahead, and for those celebrating, a Merry Christmas.